I want to ask you a little bit about Akashic records, but not everyone knows what Akashic
Sure.
records are. I have an idea about it.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe it's a very complex concept to understand.
True.
I would love for you to begin with a 101 on Akashic records.
Mm-hmm. Akashic records is basically a sum totality of all of the soul's experiences. So it's a book of records where from all lifetimes, this is not our first lifetime, Ranveer. And anyone who's living in this age, they've on an average must have lived at least 50 to 500 lifetimes. Even the most new souls, what we call old souls, new souls, even the newest souls would have lived at least 50 to 70 lifetimes, if not more. So, what their journey was, who their partners were, who their parents were, who their children were, what they did, what are the virtues they developed, what are virtues or their weaknesses that they had over every lifetime gets stored in an energetic record. Okay. Now, based on that, before taking birth in this form, in this human form, we evaluate where we are coming from and where we are going. Correct? And we start working backwards. That I've come from here, but I need to reach this vibrational frequency or closest to God or ascension. What are the lessons I need to learn? Who are the people that I need to complete with on my past life so that I can finish my chords and jump to a higher frequency? What are the new lessons I need to learn and what are the new energies I need to meet, interact with that can contribute, add purpose, I can contribute in their life and grow? So that totality, that life plan, okay, I'm coming from here and I need to go here, goes and gets stored in an Akashic record. So to simplify it, an Akashic record is the plan the soul creates that in this lifetime, I have to meet these people. I have to learn my lessons. I have to go through my lows. I have to go through my highs. And what I've left incomplete in this lifetime, that lifetime, I carry it forward. And in layman's language, an Akashic record can be broken into three parts. A karmic contract. Karmic contracts are the symbiotic relationships we get into. It's our parents, our partners, our colleagues, employees, teachers, friends, etc. Where we are adding something in their life, they are adding something in our life. And mostly it's like, it's eternal, it's never ending. You may disconnect for a certain period of time, but then again after 15, 20 years, you cross paths. Then you have karmic lessons.
After 15, 20 years, you cross paths.
You may, like whenever you need something, you will attract that energy. So suppose if my karma in your life is to give you water. Whenever you're thirsty, you will encounter me. Now, you may not need water all the time. You may sometimes need coffee. You may sometimes need tea. Whenever you need business support, you may go to somebody else. Whenever you are dealing with a heartbreak, you may go to that one friend. Whenever you want comfort, you will need your mother. Whenever you want a particular kind of advice, you will think of one friend. And we all have that one person who brings in different things. And that's what our human life is. You know, we feel that connect, that soul sister, brother, family, cousins, grandparents. So that's all contracts. All our relationships are contracts. Then you have karmic lessons. Karmic lessons are short-lived. That person is there in this lifetime to teach you a lesson. Whether you learn the lesson, whether you don't learn the lesson, that person is there and then the person will go. Now, if you've learned the lesson, great. If you've not learned the lesson, somebody else will come and try to teach you the same lesson, but in a more harsher way. That person will be short-lived. You learn the lesson, great. Now you don't learn the lesson, then again some third person will come and give you a slap on your face saying, wake up. That's why people ask about repeated patterns. Why do I always go through this? Why am I always attracting an abusive partner or a friend who takes my money and go, or XYZ, or a toxic boss or whatever? There's a repeated pattern. That's karmic lesson, which is painful and short-lived. If you've learned the lesson, that person will never come back in your life.
That kind of person.
That kind of person will not come back in your life, or that energy will not come back. And the third is karmic incompletions. What you've left incomplete in certain lifetimes, you may choose to finish that in this lifetime. Usually people say, and again, a very common asked question or a statement, I'm going through a lot of sufferings. I must have done something in my past life. And I'm like, no, because we have fresh contracts. Do you go to office and do everything you've done in your past life? No. You pick up new contracts, you pick up new lessons, you pick up new projects. And yeah, 1 or 2 things that have been left incomplete from yesterday, you carry it forward. Because if a soul kept doing exactly what they did in their past life, they would never grow. There would not be any evolution.
What are the early signs to avoid these toxic patterns? Like the red flags within these patterns?
Is energy, intuition.
I think definitely what you're saying, but you've also got to self-assess a lot.
True.
And a great way of doing that is just write down your life.
True.
Your adult life after college, what happened, who were the kind of people you met. If you've had relationships, why did they happen?
True.
What did you feel early on? What did you feel towards the end? Is there a common link?
True.
This kind of self-assessment is very important. I have figured that my type when it comes to people I've dated are people who are a little eccentric.
You're a protector. You like to protect vulnerable girls.
Yeah.
So you'll always attract someone weaker or someone who's gone through trauma.
Yeah, gone through trauma.
Okay. But is that what you need? You need someone who's secure. You need someone who's strong. You need someone who's powerful. Only then you will be able to grow while being in a relationship. You need someone who has a solid life. She may not be perfect. She may have her own set of, but at least she doesn't need you to fix them.
Yeah.
You know? And also what happens, Ranveer, like I said, that soul energy always flows from a higher level to a lower level. When I attracted my partner, I'm a Shiv Bhakt. My only chant was, if there's someone for me, he should be one chosen by you. I want someone who's a reflection of you. Otherwise, I don't want. So what I'm saying is, I'm attracting someone of a high vibration. Only then I will be able to grow in life, right? If I'm attracting someone of a lower vibration, they will always pull me down. And growth here, I do not mean wealth, fame. I'm talking about what my purpose is. You know, what we are all here for.
You know, the closer one gets to their purpose, the more peace one feels.
True.
Right?
True.
Your purpose is to kind of help people bend their own realities a little bit through some changes and to self-introspect.
To self-introspect, and I think my purpose is also to make people independent and give them the tools rather than constantly depending on external factors.
Metaphysical weapons.
Yeah.
What do you think my purpose is?
So your career path is what you do, podcasting. Your purpose is education in one word. Educating people. And it could be any form of education. If you were not a podcaster, you could have been a professor. You could have been a principal. You could be setting up schools. And I also see that you'll do that in the future, because somewhere I'm picking that up. It's there. Time is not right. That's your purpose. And also, I think your purpose here is to balance receiving. You're too much of a giver. Your lesson is to receive. You give a lot. Yes, you receive also a lot, but that's unknowingly. You need to set boundaries on your giving. And give to people as much as they can handle. In your personal space.
But giving feels so natural, right?
Giving feels very natural because we have so much to give.
It's the curse of being Punjabi.
I agree. But also, I think over a period of time, I've personally learned that only give to people how much they can handle, because that's the best form of energy conservation. Today, we work so hard to vibrate at a higher level, meditate, learning about ourselves, learning our lessons. Giving is not the issue. Giving it to the right person who can handle it. Because we work so hard in accumulating this vibrational frequency, you don't want to throw it away, right? You have to honor your own energy. So self-honoring is also one of the strongest lessons.
When it comes to accessing Akashic records, are you able to see something?
All the time.
Could you describe what you see visually, if that's fine?
So Akashic record, apart from what I told you, holds 8 pillars. 8 pillars if you're not married. Career, finance, health and family are your primary pillars. Your secondary pillars are love, social, spiritual, emotional. If you're married, then you have 7 pillars. Love goes and then your family life comes. So that's what an Akashic download looks like.
And this started happening to you after age 9?
Yeah. But at that point, I didn't know I didn't have the vocabulary to express it, right? Even when I was initiated into my powers at 16, Ranveer, my master never told me you'll be practicing it professionally. I went down the whole academic route. I wanted to be an aeronautical engineer. I studied science. Wo nahi hua. Then I became a fashion designer. Writing was always a passion. This just came my way and just pulled me into it. And even when I started, I was 23. I always knew I was a psychic, but I never introduced people that I'm a psychic. At that point, India was not ready for it. People would look at me saying, oh, do you do tantra? Do you do black magic? Tu bhuto se baat karte ho, you talk to spirits, do they enter your body? India has become more open right now. I'm talking about 2023, 17 years ago. If a 23-year-old girl said I was a psychic, it was looked down upon. So I marketed or I introduced myself as an angel therapist because it was still a milder version that I communicate with angels. I get you connected to angels. I get you messages. It's only in the last 8-10 years is where I have come out of the closet and called myself a psychic, because that's who I am.
If you enjoyed today's clip, make sure you check out these curated playlists that we've made especially for you related to the subject that was spoken about in this clip.